I'm just saying, like when I was a teenager, right? It was something that you had to be concerned about. It was like something that was really out there. Now it's like, oh, I don't want to get COVID. Which, you know what I mean? Like just comparing the two. If you had to get one or the other, like I'll take the COVID.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. No.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, people aren't really meeting new people right now, so it's just like that conversation doesn't come up as often.
It's just the nature of things right now, you know.
But you don't even think they ask now. You do think they ask if you have
That's
COVID.
true. Or if you've been around anybody who has it.
It's just funny because like you'll see like on dating apps, it's like I only date socially distancing, and I'm like, you know, there's much worse things than COVID that you probably should want out there that you'd like to stop, but whatever.
Right.
Okay,
Wait,
like,
is that really in a dating app now? That's part of the little bullets for part of your profile that people say that the social distancing.
Like what level of social distancing you're practicing?
yeah, so I mean I got off of those like a couple months ago just because it got ugly. But yeah, so it'll ask you if you're
Wait. Dating apps or specific dating apps in regards to social distancing? Like, are there apps where you can sign up where like you don't give a shit about social distancing, and then apps that you do care?
Probably. I mean, I'm probably thinking that MAGA folk probably set up some like COVID only.
Farmers only. Yeah,
COVID
only.
COVID only.
Like pandemic dating, or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, they just want to put the microchip in you.
Oh boy!
Damn, that's a bar. Put the microchip in you. Heavy on the micro.
Yo, I just really can't get over. I can't get over Shane hitting us with the people who really don't give AIDS the respect it deserves. That line in itself is gold. That's gold right there.
I mean, just think about like AIDS.
I mean, it has become like less of a taboo thing now.
Yeah, like I see commercials for it now, like not selling it or anything because that would be weird. But just like you know what I mean, like it's just like hey, it's no big deal. Like when I was a kid, when I was like 14, like you were scared you were gonna get that shit.
Oh yeah, by like looking at somebody.
Yep.
Back in my day.
Well, no, we knew how you got it. I grew up in a different environment. We knew how you got it. But I mean, now it's just like, it's, they just like act, it's no big deal. Like Magic Johnson's had AIDS for 45 years, right? Never going to die.
It's been a minute.
Never going to die.
Well, he has the magical cure. Money.
This is true. We should put that on a t-shirt.
Little known fact.
Russ, if you're watching tonight, could you hook up a t-shirt? AIDS don't get the respect it deserves.
Back in my day, we had real diseases.
Yeah. And if anyone's listening has AIDS, I don't mean to belittle it in any way. But they get pills and shit.
You're saying their AIDS matters?
Mm-hmm.
It's a hot take.
Okay. Well, I wasn't planning on starting the show with AIDS, but here we are.
Well, that's the whole thing.
Didn't this happen last time?
It was in the show sheet, Gabe. It was there.
AIDS. It was definitely. It was buried. I think it was like skit 3, AIDS jokes.
Yeah, Act 3. Yeah, we're giving people the finale before we. Okay, this will be fun. A little Benjamin Button. All right. This is we made it. This is the open bar, man. But I am curious. Did this happen last time you were on, Shane? We talked about AIDS, right? I feel like it's kind of a talking point for you.
Is that Shane's thing? Maybe that's like his bit.
Please don't make that my thing. I don't want that being my thing. No, Shane. Yeah, AIDS. No.
AIDS is the worst.
Yeah. No,
AIDS is the worst.
No, I think we were talking books last time. It was books, and there was definitely talk of wine.
Okay.
And
you weren't on for the stuffed animals that are STDs, were you?
No, but
Was that a show? Was that a show, J Mike? I might just be making stuff up.
wasn't that a Dave Chappelle
That is a
skit?
that is a real thing. There are plush toys that are STDs. I don't know where I said that.
I don't either, Brad.
I thought it was on a podcast though. It
And
had to
quite
be.
frankly, if you're having that conversation outside of podcasting with me, I'm a little bit afraid of what's going on in your personals.
Okay, well,
There's no explaining this one away, but you can go ahead and try.
yeah, no, sure. Steph and I, my wife and I don't think I've ever said my wife's name on this podcast, but her name's Steph. We bought our friends a plush toy to give to their son, and so we gave this son herpes. We gave him herpes.
I don't.
I'm at a loss for words here.
Wow. So I've never given, just
being a
for the
parent's
record,
weird.
I've never given any of my friends' kids herpes.
I'm gonna have to bring this up just so I can save the pod and possibly my account on Twitter, just to make sure we're all on the same page.
Bro, that cancellation is coming for you.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Maybe
I'm
leave that part
serious.
off of the shirt.
Yeah,
Maybe don't put that on the back.
That's
All
what
right.
we
Hold
stuffed
on.
animals.
Hold on, I'll bring it up. I'll bring up the herpes. All right. I gotta share this screen here. Share the herpes screen. Herpes. There we are. See? Look. They're
look at
toys.
that.
Why the fuck is that a thing?
I know, it's great.
That is a good question. Why?
Yeah,
is
no,
that?
look.
That looks
STD.
different than I imagine what herpes looks like.
J Mike, we totally
Herpes
did
looks
this,
different,
right?
I've heard.
We talked about STDs on the show. We had an STD draft. Did I not bring this up?
Who won, by the way?
I don't. You know what? I think we all lost. I'm pretty.
Yeah,
pretty
nobody wins. Nobody wins the STD
know.
draft.
Nasty germs, exotics. What are exotics?
Here's HIV
Shane's
Oh
like,
my
can you
God.
send me this link?
developed
What is-
into
what
AIDS,
is
of
this
course,
link
but we
about?
don't have. I don't think we actually have AIDS.
That's
So-
not at all what I would imagine AIDS looks like, though.
Yeah. I think this right here should be your new Avi, Shane.
What's up with the eye of that one?
Well, it has AIDS, so
No, that's
How would you look if you had AIDS? Like, what?
wait, does it have an AIDS ribbon on its face?
Yeah. All right. That's enough, guys. Look. Jeez.
Jesus, Gabe.
I can't believe that he can open a show and talk about AIDS, and then I get ridiculed for bringing up that we gave a friend of ours herpes. You know,
Well,
like what?
You gave it to their kids. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
we're live on the open bar. Hey, it's Tuesday. It's 9:30 Eastern ish.
Very ish.
Yeah, holy. Yeah, sorry about that. Hey, actually, as a matter of fact, I have something to go with right away, J Mike. Because of the ish that happened, I'll explain the ish right now. J Mike, you sometimes refer to me as Mr. Fridge So Big, true?
Those are the facts.
Okay. By the way, hey man, how's it going? How are you doing?
Always good to see your face. Thank you. I'm well. How are you?
I'm frazzled. You know, I was
talk to me. Talk to me.
look. Do you know how big this fridge is, man?
I got a glimpse and it was stocked pretty full.
Yeah. Okay.
Double shelf for
So
leftovers, everything.
exactly, there's an entire shelf for the leftovers. So what I did tonight is I took that shelf that we use for the leftovers and I took it out of the fridge because I think at some point there was like unsweetened iced tea that leaked out of the container and kind of got into like the underneath the glass and then but like between the plastic. So it's a process to take this thing out. Turns out I had like screwdrivers and push them in on the tabs and then lift up. And then I needed like some other screwdriver, some flatheads to get these other tabs out in the back. It was a whole ordeal. Okay. So I was doing this for the majority of my time. Ultimately, we had groceries coming in that I had to also, organize or disinfect or whatever while my wife is nursing our child. So a lot of things going on in the Gearing house. So I'm sitting here, I'm frazzled, with my fridge that it's just so big for these leftovers. I'm like, I've got to get everything back in order in the event that we have leftovers that we need to put inside this fridge. So it took me a long time. And it's also taken me a long time to tell this story, but listen, there is an ending to it. So I was thinking, right? Putting things into the fridge, like, man, I should not have started this project. There was not enough time for this project. I have things to do tonight. I shouldn't have done it. Okay. So we are doing a draft right off the bat.
Out the gate.
And yeah, right out the gate. And we are drafting something in your life or something that is in a parallel verse life where you're like, ain't nobody got time for that. I should not have taken on that project. I should not have rearranged the garage. I should not have disassembled my fridge and put it back together. Right. And then, of course, in open bar fashion, you have to compare it to an NFL player. Okay. So what do you not got time for anymore? I've seen enough. Whether it's just this season, you've given up on the season. It could be Dynasty. You're ready to kick them to the curb. Whatever's clever. This is your draft. I just came up with it. All right. So what are you just absolutely sick of, that you didn't have enough time for, and then compare that to an NFL player? Do we understand the rules?
Yeah, it's very high
I think so.
concept.
Yeah, I know. It's the open bar, man.
This is like some next level shit. I've listened to this show. This is not.
It's philosophical
normal.
for the most part.
Woo.
Yeah. I mean, you thought we were going to talk about AIDS this whole time. Is the thing.
I did take a lot. I had a lot of notes actually with me on the subject. So I'm just going to put that book away.
Yes. I mean, I guess you could throw that in there into this somehow if you'd like. I don't know. That's your thing. But we're also going to do intros at the same time. May as well. So introduce yourself if you'd like, or just say what you ain't got time for. And then the NFL player you ain't got time for. So who's ready? Who's ready for the 101? Have we thought of something that we ain't got time for in real life? Yes. Alfred, welcome to the show. First time on the open bar, my guy.
Let's go, man. Let's just kick it off. I'll do the 101. I don't have time to finish a drywall patch that has been sitting in our master bedroom for about a year that I periodically will sand down and replaster. And I've probably done that 3 times in a year, and it's still not quite flat enough to paint. But it's just like sitting there and reminding me all the time that I just don't have time to get out the freaking drywall and patch that thing up. It's such a dumb, stupid, easy project, but I haven't finished it in forever. So yeah, we got this, we got this patch on our master bedroom wall. And the NFL player I compare that to is David Montgomery, because you think you'll just take it. It's not that fun. You'll just take him and you'll just get it done with his freaking 20 carries for 72 yards. And then by the end of the season, you're just done with it. You don't even want to start him anymore, and you're sick of it, and you'll just never actually finish the season in the playoffs because you have David Montgomery.
That's so good. That's
yes.
Oh wow. That is a worthy 101.
Yeah.
A very worthy 101. Well done.
Yeah, I think it definitely hurts worse in Dynasty, or possibly for our very own Bears fan here. So that absolutely hit home. And welcome to the show, man. First time.
Truly.
Yeah, thanks.
How you feel?
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. We had ourselves a little show a few weeks back.
Right.
We lost some audio, but it's all right. We'll get it
it's all right. I
tonight.
think that's the last show we did. Me and Dave are probably going to try to get another one out this week.
Fair. Yeah. I mean, you kind of thought maybe that you peaked, right?
Yeah,
You're
we
like,
definitely peaked
do we even roll out another show?
Sure. Yeah. I don't know how we're going to follow it up. So,
Yeah.
we've been
Fair.
just hit the drawing board, really trying to see how we can take it to the next level.
Yep. Okay.
And Alfred, and I gotta, and just to give everyone, the listeners, shout out to you all, everybody in the chat right now. Shout out to you all. Good to see you all. It's been a minute, but we're back. Alfred, I feel like I've done you an injustice. Normally, for our first timers or rookies on the show, I give them a quick rundown prior to the show just to say, hey, this is what we're about, and we come on here and you just be you, enjoy yourself, have fun, live it up. You can talk as much as you like, talk as little as you like, just be you. And I didn't give you that courtesy prior to the show, and so publicly, I know that our Pulp Premium Patreon folks had heard this prior to the show, but obviously, then nobody else has till now. So I'm sorry, I'm wrong. I was wrong. Please forgive me.
Man. We're
typically better hosts in our home, in our bar, and I dropped the ball. I apologize. My bad.
No worries, man. I appreciate you guys extending the hand, and glad to be here. And I'm just gonna be me anyway, so don't worry about it.
Yahtzee.
Perfect. And thank you for the show sheet, by the way. We'll get into that later. All right. Next up, who's the 102? Jason, Bears fan. Have you got it? Are we ready? Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. My 102 would be cleaning out my car. So it's winter time, or it's just about to be winter time. I've been saying for probably 3 weeks, you know what? Weather's about to go away. Nice weather's about to go away. I better clean out my car. But nope, nobody got time for that. And I also equate that to Marquise Brown, who has just been sitting on my bench all season, scoring pretty much nothing. And it's just like one of those guys where I just can't just get rid of him. He's just going to keep sitting there and waiting and probably never get done. But it's like one of those guys that I just can't feel that I can get rid of.
The funny thing is that I forgot to say my player after my whole fridge story, and that was also part of my story.
Naturally.
Yeah. So I guess we got to start over. No, man. I've seen it was a very short tweet, but it was just a response that someone said that just emulated exactly how I feel, like of Marquise Brown versus maybe it was like Cortland Sutton, someone that was side by side, close-ish in ADP. I don't know who it is. I'm just throwing a name out there, but one is consistent, one is maybe not so, but has that higher ceiling, and just not ready. I'm not willing to wait for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. I'm with you. So I'm gonna take it too. Thanks for the.
All right, we can share 2 copy draft, I guess.
Right. Yeah. This is a pigs draft.
Pigs league. Yeah.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Pigs edition. All right. Who's up? Who we got? Who's the 103? Who's the 103? Okay.
I'll take the 103. So this is maybe more of a Canadian North thing, but in terms of what I'm going to get at here, daylight savings time and how freaking dark it gets at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Literally. I
ain't got no time for that. I don't want it to be so goddamn dark that early. It's like the day's over already, and it's still like if this is summertime, you got 6 hours of daylight left. But right now, and it's only November, and it's already I'm sick of this. But it's kind of like hello darkness, my old friend, and it reminds me after that Monday night performance of Tom Brady. Oh, hello darkness, my old friend. This season,
oh no,
your career, it's over.
Was that it? Do we think that was the one that's going to be
No,
kind of
probably
the? No, probably not. Yeah.
No, but it
What
did
a
not look
weird
pretty.
night, though.
It did not look pretty.
Yeah, that was like a game. I wasn't really able to watch much football that day, and I was like, but it's okay. I'll kind of redeem myself a little bit, be able to see a good game between, Saints, Bucks, NFC South showdown. Who's going to take it? No.
That was crazy. I mean, I know it was basically in a tropical storm, right? So maybe Brady's arm just couldn't get there anymore. But I mean, Breeze is about as old. He did fine.
Yeah, he threw a lot of touchdowns.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I think it was a very big awakening of how much that offensive line is struggling too, because it really didn't look like he had much time to do much of anything. And by the time they did, it was just like too far behind.
Well, if there's ever been a time that like Brady has struggled, it's when the defensive line can get in their face and knock him down. That's when he's always struggled. So
Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski, Cameron Brate,
Scotty Miller,
Leonard Fournette, and
Saving the best for last.
Ronald Jones. Come on.
Ronald
Man, that
Jones.
team in 2016 would just be
Steamrolling everybody.
Yeah.
ridiculous.
How's it look on paper? Your standard dynasty team.
Yeah.
Well, it looks great on paper. All right. So wait. One more thing before we get to our 104. Dude, Derek, how long has it been since you've podcasted?
whenever the last time I was on this show, probably. It's been a while.
Probably the Gut Feels finale.
Yeah, no. Well, we've been on this show once or twice.
Yeah, y'all both been on here.
But yeah, it's been a minute. That's for sure.
J Mike,
But-
Derek, it's so good to have you actually back. And if you were going to return at any point, obviously this is the jump off, you know?
This is the way to go. You know,
Yeah.
I've been telling Jason every day we got to get the gut feels going again, but he's just like, no, I'm a slob.
He has
gut's
not
gone.
once said that.
No, I haven't said that at all. That's true.
J Mike, the reason why I was screen sharing earlier before we got into the whole, we don't have to go there again, the herpes shenanigans, I was sharing some audio because the first thing I thought of is that it was the return of the gangsta, thanks to the return. Are we allowed to play audio on this podcast yet, J Mike? We can do that, right?
I mean, we played the entire 7 Summers video that one day
We
when
did.
Reno was on. So
Goes like what?
come on,
This is it, J Mike.
this is it.
Uh-huh.
The Loudcast makes
We
my
can
heart
just-
happy.
Yep. This is for everyone. Yeah. Get down. All right.
Are you talking to me? I missed something.
We were just saying welcome back. That's all.
Well,
Shane.
no, happy to be here.
Yeah,
This is awesome.
yeah. The 104, Shane.
I'm not very fucking creative, so I'm gonna just
Lies.
I'm gonna take some low hanging fucking fruit. Dating apps, ain't got time for those no more.
Yes.
And I'm gonna compare it to CEH. So right going into it, you're like, this shit seems hot. This shit seems like this is gonna be just fucking dope, right? Like just gonna pop every week. And so go back week 9, you're like, man, this shit really ain't popping off like that, is it? Like it a couple times it was like, yeah, no, that's nice. But most of the time it's kind of like, this is all it is, huh? So yeah, I'll keep it simple. That's what
That's hurtful. I take that personal, and it's accurate, and that's the worst part.
Very accurate. That was good. That was like really good.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was great.
Very well done.
No, man,
yeah,
I'm
way
look,
too true.
If my pain can bring people joy, it almost makes it worth it, right? Nah, fuck that. That shit ain't true.
So let me at least ask this, Shane. So would you more compare CEH to fantasy Tinder, or would it be more like Philly cheese dates? Like what level of app is it? Like the where all the Jones are
only,
like John's only,
yeah.
or I mean, what are we looking at here?
See, I don't want to disrespect JohnsOnly.com like that. You know what I mean? I can't disrespect my city. So I'm gonna call CEH to Tinder. Yeah, he's Tinder. He ain't even fucking Tinder. He's like Facebook dating right now. You know what I mean? Like where you pull her up and you're like, dude, I banged you in fucking 9th grade. Like, no.
Yo, the slander
I'm
right
good.
now.
I'm good. Oh, I'm sorry. So yeah, it's actually Facebook dating. Yeah, that's CEH right now. Like it looks like there's some promise, like it might make its way out of there. You know what I mean? But it just doesn't. It doesn't. He doesn't. We're talking about CEH.
Well,
I'm sorry.
It's one of those things where there's just like Patrick Mahomes can make anybody look good on that team, you know? So they don't really need CEH to score the touchdowns when they have DeMarcus Robinson who could score touchdowns, and it really doesn't matter who he's throwing the ball to. It just,
I mean, Dame,
one of those guys, I guess.
Dame Williams looked pretty good. Shit, Darrell Williams.
He looked better than.
Yeah.
I mean, Damian Williams kind of looked better than CEH right now. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know what's happening.
It's kind of crazy how little they've been using him and Bell. Both of them are getting what,
yeah, they're just throwing it every time. I mean, they just don't care. They're just going like full air raid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one of those things where like if you're at that point, might as well let the best player on your team figure out what they want to do instead of hoping that your rookie running back at best is going to do something smart.
But that offensive line last year was like mauling dudes, and this year I know they're missing the doctor.
Yeah, the doctor, man.
And then I think there's one other person that they don't have on the team either. But what's that? Laurent Duvernay Tardif.
Yeah, that's right.
PhD or MD.
Oh, he's an MD up in Canada, man.
Yeah.
But does that count in Canada? Is that a real?
What level doctor is that in America? I'm not sure.
I think it's like a podiatrist.
Like as a Canadian MD, are you allowed to like buy more maple syrup, or how does that work?
Oh, I get free maple syrup.
I wish we could talk to a real one. Can we get Bosch on the podcast here so we can talk to a real person who knows about doctor stuff?
All right. I guess I'll bring up the rear here, and this ain't nobody got time for that.
Hey, now.
So I've got one project that I've definitely been putting off, and it's literally just hanging up like a towel rod in my bathroom. Hanging up a towel rod in the bathroom, and here's the thing. I thought that if I literally had just went and bought this stud finder, that I'd be ready to just get this project on and popping. Problem is, I've just been putting it off, and like even with the stud finder, I found the studs, and it's still not working out the way that I wanted it to. And I'm just going to equate this to the Dallas Cowboys in 2020. I thought that obviously I know that there are studs that are waiting to be unearthed so that this project can happen. Zeke Elliott, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, and obviously the newly unveiled Dalton Schultz. Rest in peace, Blake Jarwin. That's for you, Linda. And all I had to do was get my Andy Dalton stud finder, and I'd make it happen. Hey, all you have to do is locate the studs, and everything's going to be okay. This is going to work. Sadly, even after the studs have been located, still not making it happen. And this is my 2020 right now. So the 2020 Dallas Cowboys are me putting up the curtain rod in my bathroom or towel rod in my bathroom, and that's the story I'm going with. I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, I mean, that offense right now is about as exciting as putting up a curtain rod. So
that's about right. That is about right.
And you keep kind of like edging it up, with the little rubber stoppers, and then it just like, and it just tilts again, and that's like another injury somewhere, you know.
And you think, it's about to pop, it's about to happen, and then
Yeah.
no, it doesn't.
No. We should have known with the Jarwin injury because that was the first one. And it was like the
That's when you
first
should have known
route
that it was
that
downhill.
he ran. Yeah. Poor guy.
I don't know. I'm gonna go contrarian on you and say it was probably a bigger deal when Dak went down. I think.
Hot take.
But that's the thing. Like Dak going down is like the towel rod falling itself, and it's like, okay, apparently it wasn't even plugged into the studs, right? So all I have to do is get my stud finder. I'll put this back up. It'll take no time, even with the stud finder.
That sounds like manly shit. So is that like when I put up the command strip, right? And I come back like 2 hours later, and that son of a bitch is sitting in the tub, and I'm like, that's not where I had you.
This is not right. This is not where I left you.
Like, I wouldn't put my loofah in the tub. Like I wanted it right there.
Speaking of Dalton, though, I got to say that was, I know he got injured, I guess concussed or whatever, but like that was shocking how terrible he was. I mean, I really did. I was one of those people that were like, I don't think it's going to even be able to support that offense. And he was just awful for 6 quarters or whatever it was.
Well, a lot of that's the offensive line too, right? Aren't they having a lot of injuries and problems like that? Like, I mean, they had a dominant offensive line. And then,
for like the last 5 years.
Right. And then Dak was like, well, I'm a Dak truther. So Dak, I feel like, was good enough to make up for it. But then once he got injured, then you really saw how much the offensive line was really struggling with Dalton back there.
Yeah.
But how good was his offensive line in Cincy when he was a top 5 quarterback there?
Actually, they were pretty good, right? Because didn't they have the guy who ended up going to the Rams?
Yeah,
Whitworth.
Yeah, and they had a decent offensive line, but that's ancient history now. But back in like 2016 or whatever, I think they actually had a decent. They lost 2 really big guys, kind of win in the last 3 years, and then it went to total crap.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they didn't because they had Zeitler.
I think that's right.
They had Zeitler from Wisconsin, and who ended up going to I think the Giants, and then now the Browns, or vice versa.
He's on the Browns now.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
So yeah,
they definitely was on the Browns at one point. If it's not now,
they had a couple guys. So yeah, that's Cincinnati correspondent here. Offensive line still bad, Bob.
Yeah,
Back to you.
Still bad.
It's not good, Bob.
Still bad, Bob. Still bad.
Oh,
all right.
How do you bring that comment over? That's a good comment. Players with more rushing TDs than CEH. Burrow, Gus, David Johnson, and Wentz.
Golly.
Yo,
That's nuts.
The sadness is real, man. What's up with all this CEH hate?
but
It's not hate. It's just
how do you
I
take
know.
the ball out of Mahomes' hands at that point?
you hand the ball to. Well, you could throw the ball to CEH. I mean, that's kind of what we thought was going to be a thing.
Yeah,
Since
would be the fail-safe, right?
He set the record at LSU for receptions by a running back, right? We thought that was kind of his deal, and we'd seen Dame do pretty well in that role, and
He looks good, though. I mean, he's flashed, individual plays where he looks excellent. So, I mean, I don't know what the sum of it all is not very impressive, for our purposes for fantasy, but like he looks good out there for the, in flashes, but I don't know why he's just not, they're definitely not giving him consistent work. That's for sure.
mm-mm.
Or Bell for that matter. I mean, they're both kind of just like useless right now.
That's bizarre.
Yeah,
It is. Welcome to 2020, right? No running back on the Chiefs is worth a crap in fantasy.
And an Andy Reid offense. Man.
It's crazy.
So
Someone gets who's the dude? Now I'm blanking. Who's like standing the Chiefs backfield all the time? Scott Barrett. Get him out here and explain himself.
I think Scott puts out a tweet every year that Andy Reid's in his 56 years of head coaching has had 76 running back months. So, I mean, he's right. Usually it doesn't matter who's back there. You know what I mean? Like fucking Damian Williams was a trash can in Miami. Like he couldn't beat out anyone, Jay Ajayi, with no fucking knees. And he got to Kansas City and he looked like Walter fucking Payton. Or Barry Sanders for the younger crowd.
Yeah.
Or wait, that's old too.
LaDainian Tomlinson.
Still don't get it.
Too far.
Marco Murray.
DeMarco Murray.
Arian Foster. That's as recent as I'm willing to go.
Jeremy Hill.
Yeah, but then he gets, that's why CEH was the 101 in rookie fucking drafts. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, the talent is decent and
not my 101.
Andy Reid. Well, look, that's not how it works. Okay, it's a consensus. We just went through this. All right.
Well, my 101 sucks too, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
I don't need 4 more years of not my president. Oh, sorry.
Not my 101 hashtag.
These and the thing is, I don't think that they will for dynasty leagues or possibly even redraft, I guess, going into next year, that they're not going to go anywhere in terms of where they're being drafted. I think they'll still have enough respect just based off of, like, I don't know, that it was their rookie year and they're still only in year 2, which is fine and all probably logical, but there's got to be something that tells us that there's at least some of these are just not correct. There was I need to start writing down who writes these tweets or save them or something. But someone mentioned on the timeline, this is the problem, is I just lurk and I never like interact anymore. I'm so bad at Twitter anymore, and I just lurk and I lurk and I lurk. I just came out of this closet from scrolling through Twitter all day, and I just crawled out. And then I went and cleaned my fridge, and then I came back up here. But anyway, what was I saying? That this year has really just gone par for the course. Like, we thought that it was going to be this amazing, incredible year with the running backs, and really for them to all be successful, it would have been outperforming what the norm is. And they're really just doing enough. I think it was like a yards from scrimmage tweet that they're all doing, like.
Yeah, that was mine. That was
that you?
Definitely my tweet.
No way. Oh, no, it wasn't your tweet. Yeah, right. You're the worst.
But the thing is, rookie running backs are who are supposed to hit. It's not supposed to be the rookie wide receiver.
Yeah,
it's not supposed to be Justin Jefferson, T. Higgins, CeeDee Lamb before, he's got dumpster pails at quarterback. You know what I mean? All smashing. Like, it's supposed to be the running backs. Like, that's the easier position that comes in out of the draft and makes an instant impact in fantasy. And even though a couple of the situations we kind of knew were a little sketchy, like Cam Akers and J.K. Dobbins, we kind of expected Jonathan Taylor by now to be ripping shit up. We expected CEH to be ripping shit up. Instead, we've got James Robinson.
But there were still like good opportunities for Dobbins. Now Ingram is out, but he's playing behind Gus the Bus. And Swift playing behind, 78-year-old Adrian Peterson,
Carry on.
Carry on's like the passing down back now. Like, I don't even know what's going on in Detroit.
I don't know why. I do not understand why coaches are so obsessed with committees. Like, it's just insane to me. But I'm not a football coach.
I think there's this thing about NFL coaches, and it's prevalent in most men, is we want to think we're smarter than everyone else, right? And how do we show everyone that we're smarter than everyone else? Well, we have to show everyone that we're smarter than everyone else. We can't just do the fucking simple thing. You know what I mean? Like, if I just give the ball to the best player all the time, well, how does that prove I'm fucking smart? No, I need to use this guy that's really not that good and then make him be good. And then you will understand that I'm smart.
That's how we all think Doug Peterson's such a genius, because he won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles.
And then Matt Nagy got tricked.
And a little trick play to Trey Burton on the swing around, like tight end pass. And so we're like, this guy's a genius.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
That's a terrible fucking play call. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You know the odds of that hitting? It's like 3%. That doesn't make you a genius. Just because your dick's huge and you're willing to pull it out doesn't make you smart. I mean, good for you. You got a huge cock. And that's probably more important than having a big brain in the world, obviously. But still.
Yeah, I mean, I would venture to say, you know, you're talking about you were talking about all these rookie running backs and where they may fall, you know, next year. I think the guy who has a chance to bump himself up is Swift. You know, if he can, it's frustrating because it's still kind of a 300 committee, but really he's taking the majority of the use there. And like, he's flashed some real special stuff so far. I think there's a decent chance. I mean, if he could average 15 or so touches the rest of the season, and the other guys don't pop, that we can be talking about Swift as the top, you know, sophomore running back next year. Especially if they get some revamped offense, you know, revamped coaching staff, which I feel like's got to happen.
Yeah, and it's interesting too, because if you go back 2 years ago, DeAndre Swift was everybody's consensus 101 at that time, and then we could be circling right back there. Now, personally, I think it'll be Dobbins, because once Ingram's cleared out of there, you know what I mean? I think that's his role. But
well,
yeah, I could definitely see
gone. Gus is the problem.
I don't think Gus is the problem, although they like their committees too, so who fucking knows? But yeah, you're right. At least in Detroit, they almost have to fire Matt Patricia, right? Like that fucker can't have a job next year.
I think so.
Just to go back to what Shane was saying about this is the year that your rookie running backs are the ones that are supposed to hit, and you're not supposed to predict that the receivers are going to go off. But there was lots of offseason talk with COVID and no OTAs and no training camp. They're like, the closest thing to this was the lockout, and passing and receiving was off the charts that following year. So, I mean, the signs were there for the potential for that. I guess you would have thought that it would have been the veterans maybe that would have go off, not all the rookies. But, I mean, you can look at plenty of receivers that have gone off this year that have been unpredictable.
And part of that, though, is and I mean, it's not just the rookies, though. Like the offensive holding calls on the offensive line are down, and DPIs are up again. Because I'm sure the NFL was like, you know, if we're going to put this product out there that we need everybody watching, let's tweak it so that they're calling more penalties on the defense. Because honestly, chicks love the long ball. We all want to watch offense. So that's what they're going to give us.
Well, and I had a theory, I don't know if it's a theory, but it's something I thought about just, you know, in the state of the NFL right now. I wonder if it's actually harder for rookie running back. You know, historically, like we said, you expect the running back to come in and the receivers take a couple years. But in the way the NFL is now, running backs maybe need to be better at pass blocking than they used to be. And that's something they don't get to do in college very much. And then, you know, receivers, they're running more 3-4 wide receiver sets. So the rookie can, even if he's third on the depth chart to start or whatever, he can get on the field and kind of prove himself sooner than maybe he used to when they were running, 2 wideouts, a fullback, and a tight end back in the day. So I just wonder if the way the offenses are set up, receivers get a chance to prove themselves maybe even sooner than running backs.
Yeah.
And I think that's I want to explore that too. Wait, before I forget, I want to go back to DeAndre Swift real quick. And I'm really curious how this is going to play out for November ADP. But if we're looking at DLF ADP for October, and we've seen Swift have pretty good games. What really trips me out about this ADP so far, or back in October, is that we are looking at, even after DeAndre Swift flashing the way that he has over the last month, I'd say, in moments, people were still taking him behind the other 4 running backs of the big 5 per se. So I'm really curious how in November, if the optics of that change, since Cam Akers can't crack the lineup, since J.K. Dobbins now has his opportunity, but everyone told us before this year Gus Edwards sucked. And all of a sudden, Gus Edwards is partially keeping Dobbins from taking over the backfield. So, I mean, there's that. Okay. I'm sorry, Shane. I'm just saying, this is the narrative. I'm speaking of the general fantasy narrative, right? Jonathan Taylor, We know the sadness, and we just talked about the sadness of CEH. So now, where does he fall? Where does James Robinson fall? Let me ask you guys this. I want to go around the horn. In Dynasty, DeAndre Swift or Austin Eckler?
Swift for me.
Swift.
Yeah, Swift.
Yeah, I'm Swift too.
Gabe, you too?
He's crunching his numbers over there. Hold
It's
on.
just I doubt that anyone would say that without that injury to Eckler. And it's not like Jackson and Kelly are like, yeah.
Well, I mean, Jackson did crush.
Jackson's okay.
Except for
Yeah.
last week when he got injured on the first play, but he crushed a week before. And
Eckler's
Kelly's
back
been
shortly,
okay.
isn't he? Is Eckler back probably a week or two? Not this Sunday, like 2 or
I don't know.
3?
He was running in a hoodie,
felt
wasn't
like
he? Wasn't there a clip of him
late
running
November.
in a hoodie?
Oh, well, then he's fine.
Yeah.
I
Jogging.
I don't know.
Let me ask one more. I know because I'm kind of with you, Gabe, in that. Austin Eckler. It took me forever to come around on Austin Eckler.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
was, of course, again one of those players again where I'm like, all right, cool, I'm riding with you, Austin Eckler, and then he gets hurt this year. So it's like, you know what? From now on, I'm gonna let my skepticism ride just a little bit longer than I want to because I'm sick of giving in and you all not paying the bill when we get to that time. Aaron Jones or DeAndre Swift?
Jones.
Dynasty. Okay.
I'm Jones too.
Ooh,
I don't-
look, Alfred
I don't
and
think there's
Shade
a
are
reason.
chewing.
I don't think there's a reason to doubt.
You're
Jones.
asking me to break my cardinal rule, which is never running back in the second contract.
Just do it, Alfred.
I mean, Jones is awesome. I gotta go, Jones. He's awesome. Like he's my Eckler. He's the guy it took me forever to come around on, but he's freaking great. He's great.
He's good.
Yeah,
So I'll go Jones. I mean, he's just too good. Eckler concerns me slightly. I mean, the UDFA status and stuff. You know, I know he's proven it by now, but I think the NFL just doesn't value those guys in the same way. But Jones should have enough to get a second contract and be the guy somewhere. Maybe he'll stay in Green Bay. I don't know.
And see, I think Eckler, I mean, I don't know if they'd be the same numbers, but they'd certainly be numbers.
Yeah.
It's
Good point.
entirely. Do we like that one?
He said, "Good point."
I don't know. I would still personally want Eckler. I think just because I don't think and I don't even know why we're talking about it in November of like is this some sort of startup? Because then I want Eckler, but if I'm like trading Eckler away, then I probably wouldn't be doing that yet. And I would be doing it in a month or so, and probably hopefully get some sort of Swift plus or even just a lateral for that. I don't know, but
I think it almost feels like the fantasy community is consistently trying to get ahead of the trend or ahead of the curve, right? So with that being in mind, I think that when we start looking at piecing together the landscape as we move forward, all these guys that we thought might be falling off, and they may still be falling off, but these guys at the top who were coming up on second contracts, the Dalvins, the Aaron Jones, the Kamaras. Aaron Jones looks phenomenal again. Kamara got paid. Dalvin Cook got paid. And all of a sudden we had this influx of guys who we thought were like the next wave, like here we go. They've got next. And I think that for people to try to piece it together as they move forward with whether or not they're contending, and I hope at this point, anybody listening or paying attention, that you've decided with your teams, okay, like let's make this run, or hey, let's figure out how that we can get Swift on the team, and kind of shed weight to get whatever. But I think that the forecasting is always something that I've been fascinated with. And John Bosch, I credit him for helping me be better with. Okay, this is great, and Jake Anderson as well. This is great and all, but stop chasing this that's going on right now, and figure out what's next. because if you try to stop and pay for your Phillip Lindsays after they've already hit, stop and pay for James Robinson after they've already hit, all of a sudden you lose the equity on the team, you lose the equity of the landscape, and things can shift. But I say all that partially to say I just made a pretty big trade in a league, and I'm curious your all's thoughts. And you all tell me which side you rather have. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Do we have it inputted into the calculator, or is that
No.
Like crunch my numbers.
No. Hey, if you calculate, shout out to Hurley and Izzy and all the folks over at the Dynasty Trade Calculator. So one side has Saquon Barkley, CeeDee Lamb, 2021 first, and a 2021 third.
Wow.
Okay. Again, on that side, Saquon, CeeDee Lamb, 21 first, 21 third. The other side, Alvin Kamara.
Yeah, that side.
Derrick Henry.
Still that side.
Yeah,
Rashard Higgins.
I don't give a fuck.
irrelevant.
All right? Hold on.
That was clearly a calculator. Somebody was like, I need 8 more points.
Yeah, Wheezy F, baby. Please say the baby. Please say the Higgins. Okay. So which side would you guys like?
Kamara.
I'm gonna take AK.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
is Higgins really worth anything on that side? Nothing, right?
I think for this season, it's just like a piece to give you something now, would be my guess.
he's like a depth piece for 2020. Yeah. Obviously it depends on what your team is like.
Yeah.
But honestly, even in a vacuum, maybe, because you've got Barkley is coming into his 4th season next year. So you've got a guy who's about to enter his second contract. You got 2 proven studs entering their second contract. So, he's not that much younger than Henry and Kamara. Then you're getting 2 obvious studs. The first is great, but it's still kind of a crapshoot. Mm-hmm. And then CD's awesome, no doubt. I think I'd take the 2 proven stud running backs that are still within, 25, 26 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think Kamara's 25 and I think Henry's 26. And thankfully, Shane, I feel like you on Trades HQ right now when you feel really good that people pick your side of the trade. That's the one that I just got. So literally I just made that trade about 30 minutes ago. So I'm feeling really good about it. Feeling like this run to the finish is going to be fantastic. But yeah, I was weighing it on the scale and looking at like, okay, what happens next year when, just like you said, Alfred, if we look up and Saquon's coming into year 4, and what happens if he kind of poops the bed again? Is he going to be the greatest case of what should have been or what could have been and all this other stuff? I was like, meanwhile, Kamara's looking like a freaking fantasy league winner, and Derrick Henry's still getting 20, 25 touches a game. Like, I've got to do something here, and I didn't want to trade CeeDee Lamb. I'm a fan, but when that goes out, and now I'm left with Garrett Gilbert, the Nucci man, or whatever we're calling him, Nucci, and the ghost of Andy Dalton. All of a sudden, I'm really nervous about that as well. So yeah, I made that trade, and I'm happy to pay up. Well, I don't even know if it's paying up at this point, because let me ask you guys this: so the value of Saquon at this point, is he still top 5 dynasty asset for you guys? Is he still someone that you were like, yes, I'm happy to have him on my team. Like, I'll pay whatever to get him. Because I'm curious.
He's not worth more than Alvin Kamara straight up. I'll take Alvin Kamara straight up over him.
Yeah.
Like, if we were making that trade today and you were like, I need Alvin Kamara, I want Alvin Kamara, I got Saquon, I'd be like, all right, well, what else are you giving me? Because I'm taking all the risk with Saquon. I'm the one that's just, my man just got surgery last week. I don't know why he waited 3.5 months since he tore his knee up, but he just got surgery last week. Like, I love Saquon. I think he's probably one of the most talented players we've ever seen in the league. He's never produced like Alvin Kamara has yet, though.
Well, rookie year was ridiculous.
He was great. He was great, but Alvin Kamara smashed every year. Even last year when we were like, it's a down year for him. You know what I mean? Like the guy's going to have 82 receptions every year. You know, he's going to, I hate giving him any credit, but like Chris Collinsworth was talking about him the other night, I think, about how, his numbers are never going to be like 100 yards rushing or 140 yards rushing, but he's always going to have 80 yards receiving and 80 yards rushing. And I love Barkley. All the risk is on the Barkley side right now.
Yeah, and if
I don't see any other running backs that are going to threaten that, though. I'm like you said, Kamara, and I'm with that. But like, I don't know if people are going to be up on Zeke. Like we were just talking about all those rookies that'll probably just be stagnant. Maybe Cook flirts with that, but like Mixon, Chubb, Jacobs, Sanders, no way. Like
Sanders, I'll take Sanders over Barkley.
Okay.
I mean, God, it's like running backs are just so fragile. And Barkley's an incredible talent, no doubt. But like 2 years in a row, injury. And I'm not saying he's injury prone, but I'm saying he's now going to be approaching his, second contract. We know. I mean, look at Zeke. What happened to Zeke? Like I know it's the offense, but like they're so fragile. Team context is fragile. And like the Giants suck. They're going to keep sucking. Mm-hmm. Daniel Jones is trash. I am the biggest Daniel Jones, like, get him out of here. Drew Lock, get him out of here. But, like, that offense stinks. And Barkley wasn't even good the first 2 weeks. Then he tore up his ACL. So I'm just like, he had an incredible rookie year, but I'm a little bit down, not on the player in a vacuum, but on the team context and everything. Like, you've got Derrick Henry and Kamara both on elite offenses. Well, Kamara's on elite offense. Henry's on a good offense. I think we can say that. Mm-hmm. And it's probably going to continue to be a good offense. I'd take the two running backs for sure. I mean, Barkley, I think, is a little bit approaching kind of exactly what you said. What could have been in the right situation, but it's a little scary, honestly, going forward for him.
Agreed.
What's weird is was that offer made to you, J. Mike, or did you make the offer?
No, I made an offer that was close to that, and
then Rashard Higgins.
that's put it over the top.
Oh, listen, if I'm giving up CD Lamb, if I'm going to give up CD Lamb, you better bet your buttons, Bucko, that Rashard Higgins has to be part of this deal. So
you got to get the original Hollywood. I mean, that's the original Hollywood.
Hollywood.
You got to get that. I understand.
We got time for that.
I better clear out a roster spot if you think I'm going to trade away CD Lamb.
Goodbye, Tyler Irvin. What are you doing here?
What I was gonna say though is that if that was a offer made to you, it seemed like maybe they were trying to buy low on Barkley and CD and the future pick or whatever. Those looking a little murky as well, but they're like, I don't think that those are like, I don't know. I think it's just standalone. Like you totally win that. Because you can go ahead and win the chipper, right? I take it that you were contending is why you made that trade, part of that. The reason there,
I'm in position to compete here, to compete in a big way.
Yeah, and obviously you're not committed to these guys long term. You can just pump them and dump them. Pumpthemanddumphim.com, right, Shane?
That's the next venture. It's Philly Cheese Dates and Johns.com or JohnsOnly.com, and then pump them and dump them.
Does JohnsOnly.com come with like a 25% discount to pumpthemanddumphim.com?
Yes,
I feel like
that it does.
It's a promo code. Yeah.
There's a whole conglomerate.
What were we saying, J. Mike? A rebate?
A mail-in rebate on an online app. This is great.
Mail is MALE.
And this all sounds like it comes full circle to the initial conversation at the top of the podcast.
Wait, we're talking about AIDS again? I don't know, because pump them and dump them.
Yo,
Okay, 'cause
yo.
I don't understand.
I don't know about it, man. And listen, man. Listen, Daryl. Why you got to come in and do that? I don't love Daniel Jones like that. I did.
Oh, did I have some
trade for Daniel
feelings?
Jones, but yeah,
I
didn't.
saw Daniel Jones today get traded for a 2022 third rounder. Oh, that's two. Third rounder. Third rounder in a super flex league.
Wow, that's like nothing.
So
Yeah.
did you leave the league after that, or what?
Dude, it's very complicated to leave the leagues. I got to keep track of that. All that shit's happening after the year, but still, yeah, for a third rounder in 2022, I was like, God damn! Like I know Daniel Jones is like a jag, but what the fuck? That's ridiculous.
That seems wild in Superflex.
Yeah.
Golly.
I mean, I paid a 2021 Devy second to get Nick Foles in a Superflex. It's a 2 QB, so QBs are even more ridiculous because it's not a Superflex, but still to get freaking Nick Foles.
Yeah. It's cock's huge, though, in case you haven't heard.
Well,
That's how you get points.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly. While we're talking QBs, I just got to bring this up. I saw this today. Vlad Sedler posted this at RotoGut. Remove his QB stats, and Kyler Murray is the overall RB 12 through 9 weeks.
Oh,
Ignore the receiving.
yeah.
Ignore the receiving stats from all running backs, and you'll note that Cook, Henry, and Gurley are the only guys with more rushing points than Kyler.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Gurley, fucking just real quick. Gurley interests me because that dude won't fucking die. All he does is score a touchdown every week to just like Todd Gurley somehow a top 15 running back every week. It's like 15 for 60 and a touchdown.
Yeah,
Dude, I've faded
for
him on so
touchdowns,
many
and he still
showdown
does.
slates and just hated watching every single one of those games when he gets like a 5-yard touchdown run.
But I mean, I feel like Kyler, like, I don't want to compare him to Lamar, but that's kind of the stuff we were saying about Lamar last year. Although Kyler looks so much better than Lamar.
He's way better in the passing game, right?
Yeah.
Way better. He didn't run that much last year. I mean, it's kind of a new, like he's like 50, like they're just using him as their running back, and it's like a college offense. I mean, where he's getting like the most carries and throwing the ball 30 times. It's incredible.
Because I think they actually have enough receiving threats this year to actually spread the field out like they wanted to. Last year it was a little difficult with
Keyshawn
Johnson and Fitz isn't scaring anybody. But you throw D-Hop in there and Kirk slides into where he belongs, which is probably the second or third receiving option, and then you can actually run that spread offense that Kingsbury wants to run. There's a reason they made that hire, right? My man was coming off a losing college career, but apparently the Cardinals saw something, and this must be what they saw.
Yeah,
So-
you nailed it. I think it's just having the extra wide receiver threat. Now he has the open space to move around if he wants to.
As Hermsmeyer tells us all the time, what is it? The air yards belong to the wide receiver, right? And so I'm curious, does this make DeAndre Hopkins the real MVP? Because last year they weren't pushing the ball like this, like down the field. Like it was a lot of short stuff, a lot of quick stuff. And now like Kyler's free, and maybe it's just the year. I mean, maybe it's the year of maturity, the year of growing, and all that other stuff that we attribute to sophomore quarterbacks and them taking the leap and all that jazz. But in the same breath, like you got the best, if not one of, if you want to argue about it, sure, a top wide receiver in this game on the team now, to be able to do any and everything with and force 10 plus targets to a game if you want to. So DeAndre Hopkins might be the real MVP here. I'm just going to throw that out there because the A-Dot right now, like the dimes that Kyler's out there throwing, and obviously what he's doing with his feet right now. And I don't know anybody who's got shorter steps but looks quicker than everybody else on the field. It's kind of insane. It's very Austin Eckler-esque, if you will, because Eckler's kind of that way. And then like these steps are real short and choppy looking, but all of a sudden like it's cutting up through places that how did he get through that? That's kind of crazy. I don't know. I feel like there's something to be said for if these big dominant wide receivers can get with quarterbacks who are willing to throw that ball. Like just for an example, like wherever I'm really going to be curious to see where Allen Robinson lands next year. Allen Robinson said to be a free agent. We've complained for 8 years he hasn't had a quarterback, or 7 years, whatever it's been, 6 years that he hasn't had a quarterback his entire time. He just spent 3 years in Buffalo, where I would imagine that he obviously they gave him the bag, but he was probably hoping that Trubisky was going to be someone who he'd be able to grow with and flourish and all that. And sadness, right? Pain, #pain, as they say on the interwebs. So where he lands, like talk about somebody who can really elevate an offense. It'll be a lot of fun to see how he affects somewhere, because I still think that he's that level player as well. Anywho, I'm sorry. I'm just getting into my muses at this point, my 2020 muses.
No, I like that. And what about Juju Smith-Schuster? Are you excited to see where he'll land next year?
No, not as much. I think he's really good, but like, does Juju, and he's really good, but does he elevate an offense, or just in his pure opinion at this point? Do you think Juju's the type that like elevates an offense and commands targets?
I'll say yes.
Okay, and he's fantastic.
I don't think so.
I'm just curious what you all think.
I'm not sure anymore. I mean, Deontay Johnson's commanding more targets than him in a totally different way than Juju, but yeah, I'm not sure. I think he functions really nice in a good environment, like a Tyler Boyd, maybe. Same division, but I'm not sure. Like, I agree with you. I mean, I think A-Rob's a true like alpha who commands a whole side of the field where you've got to be aware of where he is and what he's doing. I'd love to see him go get paired with Will Fuller in Texas. Deshaun Watson throwing to A-Rob and Fuller.
Oh,
hey, calm down.
Yo,
A-Rob's not going anywhere. Calm down.
Jason, you got to give it up, man. You got to give it up.
You got to give it up.
What is this? No,
Well, I mean, yeah,
he's
like
not
how about
going
Fields?
anywhere.
I mean, I'd take Fields to Fuller, or what's his face, Zach Wilson to A-Rob, or Fields to A-Rob.
All of those sound lovely.
They definitely do in Chicago. Not anywhere else.
No. We're done. We're done with Chicago, Jason. You had your chance and you blew it. Shout out to Bob in the chat there, Bob Gilchrist. What up, Bob? Hope you're well, man. Who would you rather have in Dynasty, Juju or DJ Moore? And this is going to turn you, man, because I know DJ Moore's been your man for 3 years now, and here we are. This is fun.
This is a sad question, because I think they were both a lot of people thinking that these were, especially the DJ Moore side, thinking that was going to be much larger than it is. Pause.
Yo.
I mean, at least Juju gets to escape his shitty situation after this season. DJ Moore is probably stuck to fucking Bridgewater and jackass Brady for another fucking year. Oh yeah, let's let's take our best wide receiver, use him as a deep threat when Teddy Bridgewater can't throw for shit deep, and we're gonna use fucking Robbie Anderson as an intermediate threat. Go fuck your mom.
That's the weirdest storyline of the year. I mean, it's up there. It's a top 3 weirdest storyline of the whole year.
It's just it makes no fucking sense. You're like, who's really good at slants, intermediate routes, underneath shit, as well as deep stuff. But our quarterback isn't good at that. DJ Moore is. You know what we should do with them? Just send them fucking deep all the time, all the fucking time. Fuck you.
How do you really feel, Shane?
That said, I love DJ Moore, man. Robbie Anderson is a punk bitch who threatened to nut in some dude's wife's eye, which, unless someone asked you to say something about their wife like that is unacceptable. But back to the original question.
Where were we?
I'm gonna hold on to DJ. I'm gonna hold on to DJ.
Okay.
If I can just jump in here real quick, when I first saw that Shane was going to be on the show with us, I was so pleased to know that somebody would just say out loud everything that I'm thinking. Because I'm absolutely taking the risk on Juju here over DJ Moore, because Teddy Bridgewater is just hard pass there. But yeah, even though Juju's not playing as good as he can right now, he now has he's soon to have the option of going somewhere else. But at the same time, I think it's more Ben Roethlisberger decides who's going to succeed in that offense. And sometimes it's Juju, but even when Teddy Bridgewater thinks DJ Moore is going to succeed, it's not DJ Moore. It's somebody like Robbie Anderson, who
Curtis Samuel
you really don't want on your team. Or Curtis Samuel once every 3 weeks. I'm going to pass on DJ Moore there.
Yeah, I think it's Juju for me too. I mean, I've never been a huge DJ Moore guy, but probably for dumb reasons. He just didn't seem to like just be a true dominant type guy. I don't know, kind of maybe just a gut feeling. And now this year it's looking smart, but I mean, people love DJ Moore so much. He's still putting together yards, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, if you like extrapolate out his stats, he's actually doing okay, right?
No,
but
not after last year. Saw 3 targets for 13 yards.
Yeah, that was weird.
Oh,
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. It's just kind of like cratering this year. But I would take Juju. I think.
Not to mention, like, the Panthers' offense is kind of fun. Like,
yeah,
what Matt Rule's doing is say what you want about your boy Robbie, but he is apparently a thing, and whoever's at running back is a thing, and DJ Moore's a thing enough. Curtis Samuel is becoming a thing of late. Like, there's just a lot of things.
It's just imagine how good that offense could be if you actually used the best player in the role that you're using Robbie Anderson in. Because DJ Moore is an infinitely more talented fucking player than Robbie Anderson. And I like Robbie Anderson as
he's the deep
guy. Yeah, like send him deep and let Teddy miss him. Like then my life will be okay. But you're doing it to my boy DJ Moore, who was supposed to have like 140 fucking targets this year, and you're crushing me. Send Robbie Anderson's fucking jag ass deep and let him get missed on passes.
He's your pump him and dump him.
Yeah, that's a fact.
He'd get a rebate.
Just real quick, I just want to go over DJ Moore's target numbers real quick. Can you all guess how many games he's had in double-digit targets this season? In 9 games, how many double-digit target weeks does he have?
One.
I'd say 2 or 3.
I'm gonna guess way higher than that. I think we're thinking too low. I'm gonna say 6.
Derek?
2.
Okay, he's got 2. Now that's not totally fair because one of those weeks he had a 9 target week 1. So he's got a week with 9 targets, a week with 11 targets, and a week with 13 targets. The other games, the other games are as follows. Watch this.
Mike. But Mike, this is America. This isn't Canada, so 9 doesn't count as 10 here.
Touche. His other weeks from a targets perspective, not catches, targets, are as follows: 4, 6, 5, 5, 6, 3.
Yikes! What are his electoral college targets though?
Are there any illegal targets that are in there that we're not counting?
Oh yeah, no, most of those are fraudulent. And he definitely carried the South.
Illegal target.
Are we counting the legal or illegal targets?
I've got 4.
I feel like he overthrew him, and like Ian Thomas caught one. So
definitely,
at least an illegal target.
At least 6 of those targets have been dead for 15 years.
Are we counting the targets that went to Robbie Anderson but should have gone to DJ Moore? Or...
Yeah,
there was a glitch.
Shane where they should have gone?
It should have gone to DJ Moore.
Okay, I've got 4 things to say on this. First to answer Bob's question.
Wow, the Canadian has much to say on this. Yeah. Here we go.
Starting from the beginning of the show, point number 1.
AIDS is bad. That's first.
Right. but okay. To answer Bob's question, I'd probably go with Juju because you guys convinced me. I probably would have gone with DJ Moore before that. Second, the Carolina offense is fun. They're doing things, that's for sure. And Alfred, thanks for mentioning gut feelings, intentional or not. I appreciated that. And fourth, Shane, I think if we could cut and paste like just clips from this show, you've got a Festivus rant for the Funhouse.
Yep.
Jesus, that's coming up next month, right?
Yeah.
Oh, your job is done already. Don't worry about that one.
I'll send you the MP3. All right. Well, what I'm curious now about how much we hate DJ Moore in ADP, because he was all the way in, and unfortunately we're going to look at October, so we'll have to speculate and see what November brings us. But DJ Moore is wide receiver 6 in October, which is very generous, I would think, in comparison to how Shane is speaking about, his love and glory for Robbie Anderson. But DJ Moore, Chris Godwin.
I'm taking DJ Moore.
I feel like this is a bad one to start on, by the way.
Yeah. Chris Godwin hasn't done shit except get injured.
Let's go DJ Moore or Calvin Ridley then.
Ooh, I like this.
Oh, no.
Shane said, no, I'm out of here.
He's taking your excuse, Jason. I lost power.
Yeah, that's interesting. I think it's DJ Moore, and you hope that they get a better quarterback.
We
I
really hate
mean, why
Petty.
isn't it
Petty's
Calvin
not
Ridley?
even-
I don't know.
I
I
mean,
think it's
it's-
Calvin Ridley.
I think
Do
I'm
you
with
think
you, Alfred.
Julio's gone in
Sadly.
the next 2 years?
But if you don't
Doesn't
say Calvin
matter.
Ridley, it's just
You don't
take
think it
Rock.
matters?
I don't think it. I don't think
I
it
hate
matters.
Calvin Ridley, generally speaking, to be honest with you guys. But like, if you're gonna put DJ or Calvin Ridley, Ridley's produced since day one. He scores touchdowns, which I know are kind of fluky, but like he does it, and DJ Moore doesn't do it.
And DJ Moore, despite his newfound role as a deep threat, has never been a guy that scores touchdowns, like you said. And really, his skill set doesn't lend itself to that.
Yeah,
I
he's
think-
supposed to be 150 targets and like
Right.
catch 100 balls and 6 touchdowns.
Exactly.
That's a perfect scenario.
Oh, god damn it! And I hated Ridley coming out of college because
Me
he was in
too.
his mid-30s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I take Ridley.
All right. Let's keep it going. AJ Brown or DJ Moore.
Oh, that's
Hey,
Yeah,
Jay,
that's smash.
surely that's unanimous, right?
Yeah,
Smash AJ, right?
Smash.
Okay.
Definitely.
I was making sure we were with each other there. I guess we could say I'm trying to, because there are players that are just kind of dead right now between like Godwin, Evans. I guess Juju is wide receiver 10. So we kind of were already, that was our either or there. But Cooper's kind of sort of dead, I guess. Julio is always dead to people because he's old. And I don't, that was not what I said. That is what I was speaking for the community. CeeDee Lamb. How about CeeDee Lamb? CeeDee Lamb or DJ Moore? We were a lot of love for CeeDee Lamb tonight.
Wait, can we go back? Can we go back real quick to the part
Yeah.
where Shane is starting to recognize he don't love DJ Moore like he
He
used
don't love
to.
DJ Moore.
And he's really
got that in
We don't
him,
love you like
right?
you
it's
used to.
just like watching my marriage end again right in real time tonight.
Oh, shit.
Fuck.
Wow,
Yeah.
you're gonna be heading to terrapins.only.com after this.
Terrapins only.
Yeah, I'll take CeeDee Lamb.
All right, see, you said it,
No.
admitting it.
Step one,
Step one. All right,
or whatever step it is.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, so when you go to rehab, right? No,
Okay.
never mind.
I was ready. Well, I think Shane can speak for everyone there. Sure. Is there any debate? Ooh, how about Terry McLaurin? That's fun. Terry McLaurin or
I'll
DJ
take
Moore?
DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Oh,
Moore.
come on.
Woo.
Come on.
Pretty scary.
What? Really?
You're right to your opinion, even if you're wrong, Jason. Just kidding. I was just kidding. I'm
You're
taking
the
Terry
only
McLaurin.
one that disagreed. I don't know why you
Terry,
attacked
Terry
me.
McLaurin's become my guy, and because Terry McLaurin in a really crappy offense has been amazing for a year and a half. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Imagine Terry
I
McLaurin with Teddy Bridgewater.
Is the rule.
Do you-
That is it right there.
But the question is, do you upgrade or downgrade to DJ Moore? Because they're probably pretty similar. You know, if you don't account for quarterbacks, they're probably really close.
I mean, what would the argument for DJ Moore over Terry McLaurin look like right now?
Yeah, that's a good question. Like, what is the ceiling with DJ Moore? What are we hoping for at this point? If you are standing DJ Moore, what are you hoping for? A ceiling of 1,406 eventually?
I mean, and that was, you thought, at least I did, when I thought he was going to be the alpha there. I was talking 140, 150 targets, right? Something like 120, 130 receptions because of the low ADOT, whatever, and a ton of yak, and 6 touchdowns, maybe 1,300 yards. Teddy Bridgewater is running that offense. The offense is successful in what they're doing. So there's no reason to change anything. So DJ Moore does this again next year. Like, why? I don't know why it would change unless something happens to Teddy Bridgewater again. And I'm not saying that I'm going to attack Teddy Bridgewater or anything, but I'm just saying unless something happens to him, there's no way the situation improves for DJ Moore.
You're this generation's Tanya Harding.
That's too old for the room, I think. They don't get that. I get that.
What demographic do you think listens to this podcast?
But yeah, I don't see Terry McLaurin's situation only improve, right?
Yeah, for sure, it's going to improve.
Like, they can't get worse than Kyle fucking Allen, Dwayne Haskins, and Alex Smith. It can't. It can't. Unless they just go to no quarterback next year. It cannot get worse. So I think.
And he's Terry McLaurin right now is pacing for basically what you want DJ Moore's ceiling to be with Kyle Allen and Dwayne Haskins.
And here, Shane, I'll leave your man alone after this one. DJ Moore, August ADP, he was wide receiver 4. September, he was wide receiver 5. October, he was wide receiver 6. So we'll see what November holds. But even in the midst of hard times, people November are still.
That's
November rain.
We love him young. You know what I mean? DJ Moore's still at 23, so we're gonna keep telling ourselves, and I'm gonna do the same fucking thing. Is be like, look, he's only 24. He's only 25. he ain't but 33 years old. You know?
There's a lot of legs left, a lot of life left in them legs.
Alan, bubble in my throat. DJ Moore in my throat. Allen Robinson, Stephon Diggs. Any love there over DJ Moore?
Those are tough.
Fuck.
See, and this is okay. I think we've made it. We've made it to the point where DJ Moore is no longer in the top 10, maybe not the top 12, and now he's just in another tier with all these guys where we're like, fuck.
Look at Shane,
the fuck
tier.
This is why.
Tier.
This is why the experience of actually experiencing the open bar live on YouTube or Periscope, whatever you choose, is. There's not what does Jim Nance say about the Masters? It's a tradition unlike any other. Okay? If you can check us out live and see Shade's face as he dies inside, recognizing
like honestly, like no one other than my marriage counselor, my divorce attorney, and my ex-wife have ever seen these faces, and now it's just being beamed out. So, yeah.
Oh my God.
DJ Moore.
I'm dying.
DJ Moore broke my soul.
I'm
Like, it
dying.
literally happened tonight.
Yeah, that's a sad commentary to end on, but man, I think that's as good of a jumping off spot as we've got. Dang, Shane, I feel bad now.
All right, hold on, one more. All right,
Okay,
one more.
yes.
This is the last one.
I'm sorry.
All right, because I think we just need to put a bow on this. DJ Moore or Robbie Anderson?
Man, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna retweet this episode and comment. Want to see a dead body?
You want to see
I mean, that's a better caption than some other things you could say about this show.
Oh man. I will stand for DJ Moore in that scenario. I got you, Shane. I'll take DJ Moore versus Robbie Anderson.
Now watch DJ Moore this week is going to go out. He's going to get double-digit targets, score 3 touchdowns. We'll see the Chadwick Boseman Black Panther gifs everywhere. I never yielded. As you can see, I am not dead. It'll be everywhere. It'll be great.
I don't know, you guys. I feel like Teddy Bridgewater can get Robbie Anderson the ball way easier than DJ Moore because DJ Moore is just too far. Like, how could he possibly throw the ball that far? So, if you're trying to win, you might want to go Robbie Anderson on that one. I don't know.
We keep talking about Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, honestly, like, what are they going to do? Are they going to ride Teddy Bridgewater for like years now? I mean, he hasn't been that good, has he? I mean, every mock draft in freaking July had him taking a quarterback in the top 3 picks. Now they're kind of like decent. Are they going to ride Teddy now? Is that what we have to look forward to?
Can we at least before we have that discussion, can we at least go back to the fact that the offensive line is terrible in Carolina? Can we start there? Can we acknowledge that?
So A-Dot can't be very high.
It's not great, Bob. Not great.
And there's still hope that Teddy could go down.
There's still hope.
I'm just saying, but yeah, that's fun. What do they do? I don't know.
But they're going to be middle of the pack. So what are you gonna pick?
Right.
Like
Kyle Trask,
the guy the Vikings picked. That
Mac
one.
Jones.
Mac Jones. There you go.
How old are you? You're my age, huh?
How old are you?
But Teddy Bridgewater is, as good as Jared Goff, and if Matt Rule is the like new McVay or whatever with an offense that can just kind of do with it what he wants, pump and dump, if you will, with QBs and running backs and wide receivers, whatever. Like, I guess it kind of doesn't matter. I don't think it's like the future. I don't think he's like the future of Carolina or anything, or that he'll ride him out until he's got no knees left. But I don't know. I don't see they already kind of made this transition of doing this. What was it? A two-year deal, right? With Teddy. So year one into that, and I guess they could draft a QB, but like it would probably be like a third, fourth round and beyond kind of situation that might just kind of land something. And I don't know. He certainly is like definition of bridge QB, but it's a weird scenario because the offense is like good enough with what Rule is doing. So
it's a weird. I mean, potentially QB purgatory, which of course is never a good place to be. But
like a dynasty league, like you never want to be in that like middle ground, where you're like maybe gonna compete or get the 6th overall pick in your rookie drafts. Like, don't do that ever.
Teams do that crap all the time in real life.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like with Teddy, like your ceiling is maybe 10, 11 wins. Like you're not going to get more than that with Teddy Bridgewater, I feel like. And it's one of those QBs where you feel like maybe you're good enough to get there, but I don't.
Yeah, he's a wild card lost QB. That's what he is.
I mean, the thing is, if they can actually build a defense, you don't really need your quarterback to be spectacular with the weapons that they have there. They kind of have, a Christian McCaffrey, obviously, and Robbie Anderson. I mean, that's apparently all the fucking weapons you need. But if they build a defense around them, there's no reason that they can't win the NFC. I mean, we've seen worse teams win the NFC. what it looks like 3 years down the road, who knows? I don't know that they know that. You know what I mean? I don't know that they planned for this season to go as well as it's gone so far.
Probably, yeah. I mean, their defense was supposed to be horrific, and it's been decent.
Yeah,
It's fair. Very fair. This has been good. This has been good for the soul tonight. I've laughed and sweat way more than any man should at this point. I laughed so hard that my side hurts also as well. So, there's that. Any final words before we get ready to kick rocks? Close down the old bar. Last call, if you will.
Well, I wanted to bring up one thing that recently came to light on Twitter, and it's the origins of Soup Boy. The actual definition of it, Jason.
Oh, no.
Do you want to share it, or do you want me to share it? We've talked about this on here. We've talked about this on here.
I'm
before,
still
have we
unsure.
not? So, J. Mike, Gabe, you guys remember the origins of Soup Boy? The random comment, and we've done soup drafts, I think. But it recently came to light that there's a real definition that has nothing to do with soup. So, on Urban Dictionary, Soup Boy.
Oh boy.
An angelic cherub who has likely never done one wrong thing in their life. Soup boys always have the best intentions. They are normally very happy and they smile constantly. Isn't that like the perfect description of Jason?
Yeah,
It's a
I
real
accept,
thing.
that, I accept that compliment. That guy gave me just the perfect compliment.
It's pretty strong. That's
It totally matches my personality too.
accurate.
Who is likely never. Is this from the perspective of the Soup Boy, or?
I think it's like a sarcastic definition of someone who thinks they're a soup boy.
And this is in the Urban Dictionary.
I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
It's
That
pretty
thing's
tame Urban
changed
Dictionary
from when it
definition
first
right
came
there.
out.
It is, but it's still funny. Jason, I just prefer him like drafting Foe 101 all the time.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Oh boy,
there's
here's an alternative though. A person, specifically male, that is of no substance.
also
Yeah.
true. Both definitions, spot on.
See, me, my mind went completely somewhere else, and it wasn't good. And it might have been bukkake related, but
Maybe it's more accurate then, I guess.
that's just me. I mean,
Your definition of Soup Boy draft?
is it a soup boy to me? I don't want to describe it. I shouldn't put words like that out in the universe.
Yeah, you might get demonetized actually.
It's good self-awareness.
I thought
At
it.
some point, right?
I figured it was just kind of another thing for like Soy Boy. Whenever they started calling, who was that? Stompy.
Stompy.
So they called Stompy Soy Boy. I
Yeah.
figured it was something like that. I don't even know what that means either.
I think it's just another like a Neanderthal way of calling someone gay.
Got it.
Yeah,
Creative.
yeah, exactly.
Cool. Okay. All right. I guess that's it then. Oh wait, did you have more? Was there more to Soup Boy?
That's it. Just wanted to put it out
All
there.
right.
The real origins.
Yeah.
I'm just glad we found the real origin because for 2 years I've been really confused, but felt like I should write it out.
You
That's
should
what
start.
she
You should start journaling.
That might be coming this year. Don't say anything to anybody.
Soup Boy memoirs. I like that.
Yeah, I think I'm on the brink of just like accepting it and just seeing how far I can take it.
Yeah. I think you should make a cookbook though, and then like have your broccoli cheese soup, and then you're like, why I did this recipe is because back when.
I might be making some videos this year, but
Okay.
we're not set on that yet.
Okay. Soup Boy. Here we go. 2021, big year. And you probably had the rollout already for 2020, but freaking COVID. All right,
Ruins
J Mike.
everything.
Yeah. Are we good? We good? Is that what you're trying to do? Trying to get us out of here?
I think we're good.
All right. Fine. I'll take the banner down. I'll take everyone's names down. I'll take everyone's video down. I'll just start
wow.
playing the Outcast album.
My name.
And we'll
Could you
just,
make sure you tweet out the link to the STD dolls? Christmas is coming, so
It looked
and
like a lot,
Hanukkah and Hanukkah.
it looked
I
like
don't
there was a
wanna-
lot more interesting things on there. Actually.
I don't want to leave anyone out.
It's actually funny though. I wasn't being gross.
I think Shane actually wants to get them. He's just scared to Google herpes dolls.
Right.
The herpes is already in my fucking Google.
Herpes
search who we
dolls
get.
is probably not the search you want to go for.
Herpes dolls. Yeah, no, that sounds really
Maybe like stuffed animal
diseases.
virus
Yeah.
would be safer at least.
They have chlamydia,
Of course. Yeah.
syphilis.
Syphilis?
They got it all. They have it all.
Syphilis is a little spiral thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do you know
Syphilis
that?
is
Looking at
fun.
the link that I don't have, or
The syphilis
what's
is
going
fun.
Syphilis is not fun from what I've been told.
No,
From what
none
I
of these are fun.
understand.
there's an outbreak in Manitoba. You don't want
You have a syphilis outbreak in Manitoba?
it. Yeah.
Oh,
God, you
Cross
got a
that
lot of
city off
outbreaks.
your list, Shane, I guess.
I just I stopped having sex with elks and stuff. I don't know.
Manitoba
I don't know.
only.
don't know how you get-
ManitobaOnly.com.
Yeah.
Manitoba only. Oh my god.
Elksonly.com.
It appears we've
Well-
run out of content.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do.
Let's do some outros then. I have no drafts left in me. So this is just gonna have to be J Mike. I could have sworn we did an STD draft and I brought how did I not bring those up? Are you sure? All right. So anyway, go ahead and say what you need to say about yourself, any promo you'd like to do. Before you say anything at all, much love to all of you here. This was absolutely wonderful. Took a week off, got to breathe a little bit, got to literally breathe a little bit. And then we had some people hang out with us tonight. A lot of good people. J Mike, you kept bringing all these people from who knows where, but man, they were fun. They were active. So we'll do those now. Our outros here. Jason, Soup Boy. What do you got besides the memoir?
I don't really have anything to promote anymore. I'm retired from fantasy football content, but like I hinted at, there may be some Soup Boy content this year. I think I'm gonna embrace it and see what happens and make some soup this season. But that's it.
I'd watch. Do you know how frustrating it is to make a roux and just keep it like a consistency that you want for a roux that you need for a soup? Does anybody know what I'm talking about right now?
It
This
sounds
just
like I
got
need to find out.
sophisticated.
It's like your basic thing that you like kind of, it'd be like day one, like you'd show up and they'd be like, yo, make a roux. Let's see what you've got, son. And that's exactly what they'd say. And it's literally just butter and flour. And then you slowly add milk to get this kind of, soupy consistency, if you will. And it's difficult. It's because like too much of one thing, and if you don't keep that fucking
Well, it's French,
going,
right? So it's definitely going to be one of those like you got to be very careful with French recipes.
And you can't just get this out of a can?
That's the thing, man.
Not a roux, bro. Not
Sounds
a
like
roux.
I'm gonna need
That was
Alfred's
already
help
that
for
was
this
already
one.
rude, man.
It's got to be very delicate.
It's so difficult. Yeah, never mind. All right, so see Faith knows what I'm talking about here. It's so stressful. Like if you just have to watch it the whole time and just keep fucking whisking the whole it's horrible. So much maintenance. All right. Alfred, you're up next. What do you got to say to the people? Thank you for coming on.
All right. Well, yeah. So I am producing content. I write waiver wire and top 80 wide receivers for Razzball. I do some stuff over at DLF, but not as much in season except for a podcast I do with David Wilsey. you were on, Gabe, and it's called the Four Corners Fantasy Podcast. And then recently I have tried my hand at some college football DFS content called Why Wait Till Sunday, because there's a lot of good action we can do on Saturdays. I was successful for 2 weeks and then took a bath in week 3. So, we're going to keep at it. And so look out for that on the Twitters. You can find everything and links to everything else.
Word them up. And you often, before the show, if you came to the pre-show here, the open bar, the patreon.com/ the open bar, you'd get to see Alfred's bit live. But we're not going to tell you what it is. So sorry, you missed it. No, Alfred, you're good people, and thank you for coming on, dude. It was good to have you here. Shane, you're the worst.
Yeah.
But I just always disagree, man. It's just what a horrible name. Is that your handle or is that your name?
That's my actual government name.
The government name, yeah.
So,
yeah. All right. Well, what do you got to share?
I don't know. I write. I do podcasts and stuff. I do a YouTube show. Whatever. If you're watching this, you probably already know where the fuck I'm at. You either like me or don't like me. I don't really give a shit either way. That's all I got. I ain't promoting shit. Just be kind to each other. And just continue reaching out to people when they need your help. That's it.
Big facts. Big facts. Shane, I miss you, man.
I'm always around somewhere.
I know. I need to come to Philly. COVID needs to end. All right. Derek, the return.
Yeah, man, I'm just happy to be here. I'm not doing any content anywhere. Can find me on Twitter, but I'm usually just liking or retweeting. Probably most famously known for being subtweeted by Scott Fish or something making fun of me because of how much he hates me, but that's fine.
The subtweets are the best tweets.
Yes.
Why didn't we bring on Scott Fish as a troll move? That was foolish.
Would that be trolling me or him? Probably more him.
Yeah, good point.
Trolling him, yeah.
You think Scott Fish has the time to troll Derek right now? No.
Yeah, you did get trolled because he said no. Yeah, the first time Scott Fish said no to coming onto a show was the one where we were just making a joke for Derek. All right. J Mike, I guess you're next, man.
Let's get it. To everyone that's chopped it up with us this evening, to our guests, Soup Boy, Trent. It just makes me laugh just to say it. Alfred, Shane, Derek, good to be with you all. Thank you again, Alfred, for your rookie appearance here. Hopefully, you haven't been repulsed by us too much to come back in the future at some point. And
I laughed a lot.
Very good. That's the goal. Most nice for me. To our veterans, thank you very much for obviously coming back and kicking it with us. It's always good to get gut feels back in the building. Shane, it's always good when you're keeping it a buck, because that's when I know that I'm around someone that legitimately cares about me, when they're never afraid to be themselves. So that's always a good thing. I appreciate you all, truly. To the chat, thank you all for keeping it lit this evening. Thank you all for rocking with us, and everybody listening in podcast form. Yeah, we're back. It's November. We're getting it. Trying to laugh and enjoy ourselves, and hopefully you all are enjoying your time with us too. So I'm on Twitter at JMikeCheck, at JMICCheck. The show's handle is at the Open Bar Pod on Twitter. And my main man, the host with the most, Bungie, Genius, the MC, FF, same numbers. Mr. Gearing, if you nasty. Gabe, take us home.
We did get copyright on a couple of our shows. Look at that. 7 Summers. and that clip that we played over and over again for Edwin. That Kenny Drake touchdown.
Just crush.
They caught us. All right. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, man. Besides the fact that just that's like how I feel, man. Right there, that breath right there feels good. Feels good. We woke up this morning. Gosh darn it. And I don't know, J Mike, you doing any pods anymore? Any side pods? Any side hustles?
I think at some point.
Yeah, at some point. All right.
At some point, I think I'll get back to it. Hopefully, maybe we'll see. But right now, I am enjoying a sabbatical from social media and feeling like I have to get on every day and see everything and give way to the toxicity. So you can call this my detoxing, if you will,
Okay.
from social media.
You know, Dr. Dre we're still waiting on Detox.
That's a fact.
That
Get it
Detox
together,
album.
Dre.
So does that mean that you're not coming back ever? We just gonna be waiting on you for a while, and I'll just kind of keep inviting you back to the show every week. Kind of weird to invite your co-host.
I make no promises, man. 2020, it's different. Like we've been saying, it's different.
When it's different, it's different.
It's different.
Yeah, I feel you, bro, and I'm with you 100% of the way, and I am with all four of you 100% of the way. Friends, family, community, that is what we are. And all the love to that so-called chat out there and people tuning in live, whether it be Periscope, YouTube, podcast form. Much love to all of you. Much love to James the Brain. Speaking of soup, beer, cheese, soup forever. Rest in paradise, my friend. Always, always, always. You are not forgotten. And we got a show next week. We're going to do at least one more. I don't know if we're going to do one on Turkey Week. I have to speak to my supervisor, and my supervisor is J Mike. So we will decide that at a later date. But until then, next week you can plan on us having a show called The Open Bar on Tuesday, 9:30 Eastern-ish. And I won't clean my fridge beforehand, I promise. But that has nothing to do with you four. So put your drinks up. Good to see y'all. Much love. Take a little sippy here.
It's water.
I finished mine already anyway.
That was so good. That was so good.
What was that little dainty little drink you got there?
It's
Man
not dainty. Let me say deuces first. Deuces.